So actually, what they do have now, they have like 2 months to gain popularity, try to get people on board, try to get people committed and invested to the game, so that when the USFL season starts, the majority of football lovers would already be more invested in the XFL games than in the USFL games. I think that's the strategy they chose.
Here, there are a couple of things you have to keep in mind. Why the numbers are that bad. I'm gonna pull up the numbers again, just so you guys can see the numbers. It's quite interesting if you look at it. First of all, you start a week after Super Bowl. So basically, during the week before the Super Bowl, everyone is talking only about the Super Bowl. Sometimes you gotta ramp up. Usually you have a ramp up, but you cannot ramp up against the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah,
impossible,
yeah.
marketing wise. That
There's
leaves you only 1 week to get people to notify people that you have a league starting up
yeah,
the week after.
yeah. Because there's no room as long as there is NFL, especially if there's NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. There's no room
Mm.
on any talk show, on any sports show, on anything for anything else, any topic that's not NFL, Super
Right.
Bowl, or playoffs. You barely get other sports in. They can bear. I mean, you need to have open spaces for them to fit a LeBron story in.
Hey, even Skip and Shannon had a tough time trying to talk about anything else that week.
Yeah. So it's difficult with that. So it's difficult to promote. I did know that they were going to start up, but
Yeah.
that's because I watch or I follow The Rock
Rock.
on one of my show. I think, and I probably saw it, but I didn't experience a build up to the moment. I saw that it opened or that it was about to open, but it
Yeah.
was like very short. There was a very short period between when I found out that they were going to start and when they actually started.
Yeah. So I thought actually they would start in April. But do you know who's gonna start in April?
The USFL,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think it's usually it takes some time. After the Super Bowl, you don't expect to go full on. It's not in my system, and I think the numbers also show it. It's not in a lot of people's system to basically go full on XFL after the Super Bowl.
no,
One thing you can say though, and you might think this is. I don't think it's a bad thing to have those numbers. Now you know who your core audience is. Your core audience is 1.5 at this moment,
yeah,
1.1. And you can build after. You have a you have a platform you can build on. It's better than have 100,000 people watching.
yeah,
They have a core audience. The question is, how can they tap in? Another thing that also changed, and this is one thing people have to take into account. As you can see here, in 2020, Fox was also broadcasting the games.
yeah.
Fox thought I can do it better. Did you know that USFL is partially owned by Fox?
No, I didn't know that. Yeah,
So that's why they're not in this list anymore. which
But
means that huh?
yeah, yeah, continue. Finish your
which means
thought.
that XFL is now relying on ESPN and ABC as a main channel through which they will broadcast during 2023 now. Like I said, they had basically a they had US XFL had, because the USFL starts in April to be exact. It's gonna start
The 15th
in
of April,
15th of April, yes, till the end of
June,
June. Yeah,
16th of June. Yeah.
16th of June. They only they are restarting the league. So you don't wanna get into a. I think XFL made a choice, a hard choice. This was basically the only window they had.
Yeah, and I think they also chose because they didn't. I mean, they knew that they couldn't compete with the NFL. Uh, so the XFL
Not even
started in
NBA.
April. Why did you say?
Not even NBA can compete with that. Oh,
Because
well,
and it,
continue.
yeah, so they had to make a choice, and they probably thought, if the XFL is starting in April, we'll start 2 months earlier in February. That way, our championship game is the championship games are in May.
Yeah, so they're
So they
crossing a
will,
bit over.
yeah, well, a large part over because I think USFL, there's only you. So after the championship game, the USFL only has 1 month of championship games. So they wanted to start before the USFL, probably, so they can finish during the last part, the last part of the season of the USFL. So XFL made, I think that's what they thought. So actually, what they do have now, they have like 2 months to gain popularity, try to get people on board, try to get people committed and invested to the game, so that when the USFL season starts, the majority of football lovers would already be more invested in the XFL games than in the USFL games. I think that's the strategy they chose.
Yeah, think as well. I think as well. It's uh, it's a remarkable choice, but you gotta do something, right? Because, like us, like you said before, people in 2020, people were pretty invested. The ramp up towards XFL was great. I mean, Vince knows how to market anything.
Yeah.
Uh, it- people were really looking forward towards the new XFL 2.0 back then, and I think the ending after 5 weeks, because the it really ended after 5 weeks, and people get maybe disinterested into the league, because I mean you're buying into the league, into the team, and then suddenly it stops. So it might take a while before people come back, but they have a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'll be watching today, or
Because when do
this
they
week.
play?
They play
On
regular
Saturdays on Sundays?
Thursday, Saturday one game, Thursday one game, Saturday one game, and Sunday the rest of the games.